If you want to know how to build something real with Claude Code, then this is where you start. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build something like this from scratch. I'm going to show you everything from installing it to building this. And you don't even need to know how to code. If you're new here, I'm Dan. I spent 10 years as a developer, and what I'm about to show you would have taken me weeks to build back then. Now it takes me minutes. So here's the plan. We're gonna take a boring bank statement PDF and turn it into a full finance app. And we're gonna connect all of it to Notion. Now I'm gonna show you how to create skills and how to use them, how to connect MCPs, how to plan with Claude, and how to actually vibe code. So let's go. So what is Claude Code? You've probably used ChatGPT in a browser. You type something, it types back. That's cool, but it's limited. It's like texting someone for help. Claude Code is different. Instead of chatting in a browser, Claude sits inside your computer. It can see your files, it can write code, it can run things, and it can build entire apps for you while you watch. Think of it like this. ChatGPT is someone you text for advice, and Claude Code is the same person, but now he's sitting at your desk using your computer and doing actual work. Let me show you how to set it up. Now, in order to install Claude Code on your PC, just search for Claude Code on Google. Then click on the first link that's not sponsored, and if you scroll a bit down, you'll see this native install tab right here. So for Mac, you just have to copy this command. Then for Windows, this other one, but you have to open it in a PowerShell, not CMD. So in order to open a PowerShell, just press on Start and then search for PowerShell. Okay, now on Windows, to open a terminal, just press on Command Space and search for Terminal. And then something like this will pop up. Now let's just copy this command, open the terminal again, and now paste it. Awesome, and now Claude Code was successfully installed. This version here might be different for you if you got a newer one. It gave us the location and that's pretty much it. Now in order to run it, you need to be on a folder on your PC. So Claude runs in a specific folder. Now let's just create a new one. So I just created this folder right here in my projects directory. You can create a folder anywhere you want. You can create it on your desktop, in your documents, anywhere. Now let me teach you something that we'll be using a lot in this tutorial. So in order to go from your local directory to this specific folder, I need to teach you how to navigate through the terminal. And in order to do that, you need to know two terminal commands. They are pretty simple. So you have ls, which lists the file in your specific folder. And then you have cd, which navigates to folders. Now you can see it right here where the project is. You can just copy the path name and cd and then command v and paste it. But I'm gonna do it a bit differently. It works on Windows as well. So cd, then go to the next folder. For me is desktop, so just write desktop. Then press enter, and now if we ls again, we'll see all our files here. I know that the next one is called projects, so cd projects. If you want to go faster, just write the first part of the name and then press tab and it will auto-complete it. Now there's one more to go, which is Claude tutorial. So cd Claude tutorial. Awesome, and now with this terminal, we are in this specific folder that we just created. Now in order to start Claude, just write Claude. It will ask you if you trust this folder, navigate with your arrow keys and press on yes, I trust this folder. I'm already logged in because I had it installed beforehand. Now let me just log in again to show you how it works. You'll get redirected directly to login, so it will open a browser window. Now I'm gonna do an extra step by writing login, and then you have to choose your login method. Use your Claude account with subscription. So in order to use Claude Code, you need to be on the Pro plan. It doesn't work on the free one. I'm actually on the Max one because I need a bit more tokens as I'm using it often. And now this window right here opened. Just press on authorize. You're all set up. You can now close this window. So let's close it and open the terminal again. And you should see this message. Press enter to continue. Awesome. Now we are inside Claude. We can actually use it. We can talk to it like we would talk to the one on the web. So for example, let me just tell it, hey, how can I help you today? Awesome. I know it looks a bit complex because it's in a terminal, but really it's not. It's just like a chat window. Now we'll be using the terminal throughout our tutorial for some things that are much easier to do here, but let me show you another way you can install it, which is much more simpler to use. So go on Google and search for VS Code. This is an IDE. Again, we won't be using it to write the code ourselves. We'll be using Claude to write the code for us. So download the right one for your operating system. And then after it's done, just go ahead and run the file. Click on it and run it and go ahead and choose the default options. Then when you'll open the app, you'll see something just like this. Then you'll have to go on the left side and click on this button right here. This is extensions. Here you can search for Claude Code. This one, Claude Code for VS Code. Click on it and then press on install. Awesome, that's simple. It installed in a few seconds. Now, you'll have this new button right here, Claude Code open. And you are done. Now you can use Claude as a chat interface. You'll need again to log in. It's a pretty straightforward process like the one in the terminal. So go ahead and do that. Go to Explorer right here, the first item in this sidebar, and click on Open Folder. Now search for the one you just created and click on Open. Awesome. Now we have Claude Code inside our folder. There's a small bug right here. Seems like my Claude just turned gray. So let me just close it, go back to extensions, find the Claude Code one and press on this button again. Awesome. This shouldn't happen very often. I don't know what was its problem. And now we can actually work with it. We can talk to it like we did in the terminal. Now you can work in both. Pick the one that feels a bit more comfortable. This is, even if I'm a developer, this one feels more comfortable to me. Now, if you see this, if you got this far, then we're ready to build something. The first thing you need to learn is skills. The easiest way for me to explain it is to build one and explain the things as we go. We're gonna build a finance tracker app. Something pretty simple that we can do in a few minutes, but building this will give you the skills to build almost anything else. So create a skill called finance tracker. It should. And then you give it a set of instructions, like read a bank statement PDF and extract all transactions. Then we're gonna categorize them into these following categories. Output a clean table with columns, date, merchant, amount, category. Then calculate the totals per category and overall spending. And then we're asking it to add another file with clear definition and example merchants for each category. So we're giving it some more context. So what's actually happening here? A skill is a set of instructions you give Claude, like a recipe. You're saying, when I ask you to do this job, so read a bank statement PDF, here's exactly how I want you to do it. Think of it like this. When you hire an employee, in the first day, you're gonna teach him how to do his job. It's exactly the same thing. You're teaching Claude how you do your job so it can work for you. And skills are repeatable things that you do every day and for which you want the same output. Let's actually send the prompt. It's gonna go online and see how to create skills because they have a standard for it. It's not just something we invented. And it's gonna ask us if we want to allow it to do things. Now you can allow access to Finance Tracker for everything, or you can just allow them individually. So let's just click on yes for now. Now it will open this file for you, categories.md, but it's not yet created. It's asking you if you want to create it, so just press on yes. And now the Finance Tracker skill is created. So on the left side, you see that it added a directory called .claude. This is the structure that it defaults to for skills. So just expand it by pressing right here. By the time you do this tutorial, this structure might be a bit different, but don't worry, it will work the same. Now, if you right click the skill.md and then press on open preview, you'll see it looking a bit better. This is the brain file. See, the instruction we gave earlier, it stored them in this file right here. And this resources folder right here, expand it as well. You'll see another file, the one we've told it to create. Categories.md. You can open preview for this one as well. This is just some extra context that we gave it. This is something that the skill uses. This is the reference material. Claude reads it, but it doesn't change it. Think of it like a textbook Claude keeps near its desk. And later we'll also add a scripts folder. These are like little pieces of code that let Claude talk to external services, like an image generator, for example. But don't worry, Claude writes the skills, you don't touch them. So, skill.md is the brain, scripts are the hands, and resources are the reference materials. Together they make Claude an expert at a specific job. Now let's actually test the skill it just created. So I prepare a few bank statements. These are not real bank statements. These were generated by Claude just for the purpose of testing this tutorial right here. See, there's just some simple ones with some transactions. We have an opening balance, total credits, total debits, great. Let me open the oldest one I have from January and let's see what it does. So these skills here were added as a slash command, but they won't work in the same session that you created them. So you have to open a new one. you'll see this button right here for opening a new Claude Code session. So just press on it and you'll be able to see an empty chat window like this one. You can write /finance tracker or however you named your skill, and then we'll just drag and drop our financial statement. Just drag and drop your file right here in this chat box. Awesome. And now you can send a message. And it gave its answer right here. See, it gave us all our transactions back, and then it added them to categories, the ones that we've configured in our skill.md file. Let me open it again and I'll show you. See, food, rent, transport, entertainment, subscriptions. Okay. And it added them right here. It added the total and then a percentage of spending. It also gave us a note. So as I've told you, these statements are fictive. They were created by Claude, and it seems like the one it calculated is different than the actual total value that our statement had. And it tells us that this 99-cent error is like a rounding artifact in the PDF, which is great. And it gave us some insights. Awesome, so now we see that our skill works. This is just a simple example. We'll build more complex ones as we go. It will all make sense to you. Claude knows how to categorize spending, but right now it can only talk to your computer. What if we want to save the results somewhere? Like Notion. That's where MCPs come in. The name sounds a bit technical. It means Model Context Protocol, but it's actually something very simple. Think of it like a bridge. It connects Claude to the outside world. So basically you give Claude the skill to talk to other apps. Let me show you how it works so you understand better. Now I'll show you the fastest way to connect your MCPs, which is through their interface. So you can head to claude.ai. Let me make this a bit bigger. Click on Customize right here on the left side. Click on Connectors. This means MCPs. I already have Notion connected. Let me just disconnect it and connect it again. Then click on the search bar and search for Notion. Awesome. Then just press on connect. It will redirect you to this screen right here. I already have a Notion account. You can create one for free. As you can see, I'm also on the free plan. And then you can just press on continue. Now, Claude has access to your whole Notion. It can read files, it can edit them, it can create new ones. And right here on the left side, you'll have all the actions it has. So you have the read-only tools, the write-delete tools. For any of them, you can select if you want Claude to run the command itself, or if you want it to ask for approval, or you can block any specific command. See, so these are all the action it has access to in Notion, in your specific Notion. Now you can also connect it to Google Calendar, Drive, GitHub, Gmail, and different other connectors. If you don't see any connector right here, if you didn't find Notion beforehand, then just click on this plus button, browse connectors, and then search for Notion here and add it from this screen. As you can see, you have a lot of different apps you can directly connect to. Awesome. Now go back to Claude, open a new session by clicking on this button right here, close the other ones. Now if you write /MCP, it will show you these MCP servers right here, click enter, and you'll see the ones you have configured. Now for me it's disabled because I disabled it beforehand. I'm just gonna go and enable it manually through this interface, and we are ready to go. You should see it as enabled by default. Now if that didn't work, if the interface didn't work, then you can just go back to your terminal. Go back to this folder right here and run this command, Claude MCP add, and then you add the Notion MCP through the command line. Again, after you add an MCP, you have to open a new session so it can see it. And now let's actually test if it works. So based on our finance tracker skill, so we give it a bit of context on how we want to store things, create an empty database in my Notion called spending tracker. We need to also store the totals there. I also gave it a bit of details. I don't even know if this is needed because he might take this context itself. So let's send the prompt and see if the connection to Notion works. As you can see, it's reading the files that it created earlier because we are in a new session and it doesn't have context of them. Now it's asking us if we want to proceed with MCP Claude AI Notion create database. Yes, let's go ahead. Now in the meanwhile, let me just open up my Notion. By the time I open my Notion, it is already done. So it says here that the spending tracker database has been created. So head to Notion and you'll be able to find this new page right here, spending tracker. It will be a simple table. Now let's update our skill to actually put that data here. So head back to Claude, update the finance tracker skill to put the results in the spending tracker database inside my Notion. Change the structure if needed. It's done. Let's actually run the skill again. So open a new session. Let's reference finance tracker and then give it the PDF file again. You can try it with your real bank statement and send. It's done. Let's go back to our Notion and see what it did. It added all the transactions here, plus the totals. Looks a bit weird. We might have to split this into two different databases, but we're not gonna use Notion as our final interface, so it doesn't matter that much. Let's see if we can do it without moving this to two different databases. Now we have a skill that categorizes spending and it syncs to Notion. Now let's turn it into a real app. The secret to getting incredible results with Claude Code is planning. Before you give it a prompt to build anything, you can plan with it. It's like building the blueprint before building the house. You don't jump right into the building phase. So let me show you how I do it. So I gave it a simple prompt, just like a client would. I want to build an interface for the Notion database we just created. It must connect to my Notion, get the data, and display it on a sci-fi-like dashboard with dark mode and a lot of charts. Let's plan it out. Let me make this a bit bigger, because we don't care about the files right here. So it's trying to check if I have Node installed, because this is what it's gonna be using for the app. So you'll actually need to install this yourself. I don't think Claude can install packages globally. So let me show you how to do so. Head to Google, head to nodejs.org, click on Get Node.js. Now, choose the right installer for your operating system, download it, and then just run it. Go through the steps, and then we need to check if it actually worked. So you'll need to open a new terminal window. You can't use the old one. Just press on Command Space and write terminal. Now for me it opened the new one. If you already have one open, then close it and open this new one. For Windows, you're gonna have to press on Start and search for CMD. Now if everything ran fine, then you can just write node -v and it should return something right here. If it tells you that the command node wasn't found, then you'll need to restart your PC. If it still doesn't work, then you'll need to try to install it again. Now, if this worked, you'll see a version here. It will be a different version from mine because I'm using an older one. Now also write npm -v and check that everything is fine. Now that we have Node installed, let's go back to Claude. Let's just see what it did. So it opened this file right here. For me, it was on the right side. I don't understand why. Let me just drag and drop it right here. Make it a bit bigger. So the user has a Notion spending tracker database. So basically it gave itself context. The project directory is currently empty. This is the context it took itself. So it shows a framework. It shows Next.js. This is what it's gonna be using to build the app. Then it shows the charts library, how to do the styling, the Notion client, official SDK, server side only. Great. Well, we're gonna need to connect it somehow. Then it created the style guide for the background, for the colors, for the effects. And then it added some layout and the file structure. This is technical, we don't care about it. And then the implementation steps, but it created them for itself. Now, if we want to make changes, for example, right here it says that we have 31 transactions and 6 category totals. I would like to add a comment. So select the text and add a comment. It must work for all the data that will be added in the future, not only for the one we already have. Awesome, let's just press on add comment and it will show like this. So basically when you leave comments, you tell it to make some changes to the plan it created. If you want to modify something, if you want to change the colors, you can change them here, just add a comment. But seems like it did a great job from the first prompt. It created an awesome plan. So let's just select yes. And now it will start implementing the app. This might take a few minutes, so just be patient with it. It's gonna ask you if you want to allow a bunch of stuff. It seems like it is done with the app. Now it's trying to run it to see that there are no errors. Now this is something awesome that it does. So it found an error and now it's trying to self-heal. So it's trying to run, fix the errors, run, fix the errors. So it does everything itself. Awesome, it is done. It tells us what it did and then it gives us a few steps we must take in order to make it run. So we have to create an integration with Notion so it works with our app. So here it's not using the MCP anymore because it's not Claude anymore. It's our actual app and we need to give it access to read the data. So let's just copy this link right here. You can just press on it. Then go in Chrome and paste it or any other browser you're using. Awesome, I already have some integrations here, but I'm just gonna create a new one. You have to give it a name. I'm just name mine Claude Demo. You don't need to give it an icon, but then you have to give it an workspace. Notion creates a default one for you once you create an account. Awesome. And just click on create. Then let's go ahead and configure our integration settings. You'll have a secret right here. Don't share this with anyone. This is what we'll be copying and storing inside our project files. In here we have the capabilities of this key. See, remember earlier when we had the MCP, we could see what Claude could do with it. It's almost the same thing. Now head to content access right here because we have to give it access to our page. So let's edit it and search for the databases we created earlier. Spending tracker, okay. Just click on it. Awesome, already added. Now I have to make this a bit smaller because I can't see the save button. So press on save and you'll be able to see it right here. Now go back to configuration, click show on this API key right here, copy it. Again, don't share this with anyone, I'll have to blur it or delete it afterwards. Then go back to Claude. Now it's telling us copy the integration token and paste it into this file. Click on it and it will open the file. And now just paste it. Awesome. You can save by pressing Command S on Mac or Control S on Windows. Now we also need the database ID. Share your spending tracker database with the integration. It actually gave us the ID because it searched for it. It has that Notion MCP, so let's just copy it from here and paste it. If it didn't find it for you, then you can just ask it to search for it. And again, save it. Now we need to start the app, so it's telling us how to do so. Run npm run dev and open this link right here. But in order to do so, we need to open a new terminal and navigate to here with it. Now there are two ways you can do this. You can open a terminal and navigate as I've taught you earlier, or you can just press, I might not be able to get this on screen, but you can just press on terminal. See, if you have VS Code selected, you have the menu bar up top. On Windows it should be here, but on Mac it's at the top of the screen, and you'll see an option for terminal. Click on it and then press on new terminal and it will open this right here. If this did not work for you, let's go to our normal terminal and navigate to wherever your project is. So cd desktop, then cd projects, and then mine is called Claude tutorial, so cd Claude tutorial, and we are inside. Now you can run npm run dev here, this command right here. I'm just gonna run it in this terminal because it's a bit easier to see. Npm run dev. Awesome, and the app started. Copy the link, head back to Chrome and paste it right here. Awesome, this looks great. This looks exactly like what I've told you to build. So we have the total spend, the number of transactions, the average transaction, the top category, which is rent, what we spend most on. Then we have a spending over time. We have a category breakdown. Then the category radar, the top merchants, and our recent transactions table. Now let's make it look a bit better. And by that I mean adding some graphics to it. I mean some images. And we'll be generating this with AI. So I'm going to teach you how to create a bit more complex skills that use scripts. Now head back to Claude. Let me actually close the app. You can close it by pressing on Ctrl+C on both Mac and Windows. Then I'm gonna close the terminal so we can see this a bit bigger. And let's tell it what we want to do and check what it suggests we do. I want to make this app look a bit better, and for that I want to create an image generator skill. But before I do that, what images do you suggest we should actually add on the app? A hero background, then category icons, then empty state illustration, so a bunch of images. See, it's something repeatable, it's something we have to do multiple times. So let's create a skill for that. Create a skill called image generator. It should be used for generating the images for any app graphic. So we're not just gonna be using this skill for this specific app here, we're gonna use it for all our future apps. So basically you should generate the prompt of the image based on the aesthetic of the app you are in, and then run a script that generates the image with Nano Banana 2. Search online for how to use this model. Also create a script. The resolution should be also specified dynamically because we're gonna generate logos, then we're gonna generate hero images which are bigger. So save the images in the public directory of the app and then update the app directly with them. So I'm adding this as a step so we don't have to run two prompts, one for generating the image and then one for updating the app with that specific images. Now, let's send the prompt. I'm expecting it to fail because it doesn't have context of this new model right here, and it generally uses what it has in memory and what it was trained on. But I told it to search online for how to use this model. So let's see if it does so. Okay, so it found how to actually build a script, which is great. It found the model it should use. So this is the model behind Nano Banana 2. It's done. Again, to use it, you'll need to add Google GenAI API key. It tells us where we can get one. So let's head here. Click on this button right here. Then click on Get API Key. And now we're gonna have to create an API key for Google. First, we need to create a Google AI Studio account. You can log in with Google. The image generation is gonna cost about, I don't know, 10 cents a piece. You'll have to configure billing. If you don't want to use this, if you already know how to do it with OpenAI, then you can just tell it to generate the script for OpenAI. But this is pretty simple to set up. Then you'll need to create an API key. So click here on Get API Key. Click on Create API Key. Select a name for your key. I'm just gonna name mine test, and then you have to select the project. I'm gonna select the default one that was configured for me. And then I'm just gonna create a key. Is this one right here. This is pay as you go. So basically you'll be paying for how much you use it. Press on copy API key. Go back to Claude. Go to the .env.local file here. Write the same thing that it told you to write here. Google GenAI API key. Then press equal and then paste it. Again, don't share this key with anyone. If someone gets access to it, they will be able to use your account. I'm just sharing it because I'm gonna delete it after the video. And now let's test it. Let's test that this skill works. So let's open a new session. Select the skill image generator and then tell it generate for the header section. And let's see what it does. So first it's analyzing the app aesthetics. So we didn't have to give it the context for it. Now it's trying to run the script it created itself. It stored it right here, is this thing. Now it tells us that the environment variable is not set up. I don't know why it doesn't see it, so let's just tell it. I've added it to .env.local, submit the answer. Now it's trying to run again. Okay, it says that it generated the banner. Remember, we told it to store in the public folder, so let's check it. Header banner, this one right here. Looks great. I don't really like this kind of sci-fi graphics, but for what it is, it does look awesome. It also integrated it in the header section of our page, so let's restart the app. If you didn't close it, then you can just go and check. But I'm just gonna open a new terminal window, run npm run dev again, go back in Chrome, and just refresh. Awesome, so it added this image right here, looks good. Our app is starting to look all better. Now let's tell it to generate graphics for all spending categories. So using the skill generate graphics for all our spending categories. This is gonna take a while because we have like 5-6 categories and it's gonna generate an image for each one. It might do it in parallel, so it might not be that long. But remember, each image generation costs. So with Nano Banana 2 is pretty cheap. I think we're spending around 10 cents per image or even less. If you were to use like ChatGPT with their new model, then you spend like 20 cents per image. So it's running all of them in parallel. Awesome. Not all of them, just 3. I forgot to show you right here in Claude in skills, it added our new skill. It has a similar structure to Finance Tracker. We don't have a resources folder because we asked it to take context of how we want the image to be from the project files. But we do have this new scripts folder, which the skill.md file inside image generator has a reference to. It's still working. I think it generated the first 3, so let's check them in the public folder right here. Icon food. Awesome. This looks great. Then icon rent, also great. It's all in this cyberpunk style. First 3 done. The transport one is also done. It's trying to generate the other ones. This one is for subscriptions. This one is for entertainment. And this one is for other. And now I hope it's gonna add them all inside the app so we don't have to do it ourselves or send a second prompt. Yeah, it's reading the app and it's trying to add them now. Okay, it's done. Let's go back to our app. I still have it open right here in the terminal. I just made it smaller. So let's head back to the app. Refresh it. And let's see where it added them. So right here, but they are very small. Let's see if there's some place else. Okay, no. So we only have them here, which I don't quite like. I would like to make them a bit bigger. So let's redesign how we display them. Awesome. So it found the problem. Okay, it made them a bit bigger, but still a bit too small. It also added them here. I don't know if they were here earlier. They look pretty good. We want to improve it further. Let's see what other graphics we could generate. So let's ask it for suggestions. So what other graphics can we generate for this app so we make it look even better? Here it's suggesting a divider, some background texture. I like these ones, but let's ask it for more ideas. Let's select a few of them. So I'm gonna go with this background texture. So I'm gonna go with 6 and then 11, which is user avatar placeholder. I like 16 as well. And I'm just gonna tell it to add these. See, we don't have to send it the whole prompt every single time. We don't have to generate the image elsewhere. Now we taught Claude how to do it and we just give it as little context as possible. And it does a great job. It's like an employee who already know my company's processes. I made this a bit bigger so we can see it clearly on YouTube. It generated this for the footer, then this background with circuit text, and this avatar placeholder. Awesome. Now it's adding them to the app. So now we have this circuit background. We have this avatar here, and then we can also see this footer right here. I feel like this is a bit too much, so I'm gonna tell it to remove the background and the footer image because I don't like them. It looks cleaner this way. Now we've built an app and an agentic workflow in just a few minutes. It's faster than setting up an Excel to track our expenses. So we just drag and drop the PDF, and then we have some awesome charts that help us track our spending. Now, because we have all this data right here, we can use the agent for other things, giving us insights, teaching us how to spend better, teaching us how to invest. We can add all that stuff here. We can add our investing portfolios. We can have it create a plan for us. Now let's add one more PDF to see that it still works fine. So finance tracker, then you drag and drop a PDF for another month. I'm just gonna go for February and then send the prompt. So now it's reading our statement, it's giving us some insights, and it's pushing our data to our Notion spending tracker. Then our app should be able to see it directly from there. Awesome, it's done. Let's go check our app, refresh this page. So it created 2 categories here for rent, 2 for other, 2 for food for each month. I don't like how this looks, so we don't have a filter for month. It also has some issues. So we're gonna fix this right now. Now we have everything for January and then everything for February right here. Let me just screenshot this, then go back to Claude. And now I'm gonna explain the problem I have. So I added a second month to my Notion and the app is not working fine anymore. I should be able to filter by month and have some comparison charts between months. Let's see what it does. I also sent it this by mistake, which I shouldn't have, but that's okay. Okay, it's done. Now it's telling me what changed, but I'll just check that in the app. So let me just restart it. So click inside this terminal, press on Ctrl+C and then write npm run dev. Then head back to the app. Let's refresh it. Now we have this filter right here for the months it has and then for all months. So this right here aren't split anymore. Then we can see basically the same things as we did earlier. We can see all the transactions here. Let's select February. We have the total spend for February, the transactions, the average transaction, the top category, and then we have the breakdown. So it looks pretty much the same. We have our spendings right here, top merchants, where we spend the most money, and then the spending by category. So it's comparing the previous month to the current month. Again, the list for February, because I only have February selected. Awesome. Now you know everything you need to start building with Claude Code. Skills, MCPs, plan mode, and vibe coding. And that's the whole foundation of it. If you want to see what kind of things businesses are actually paying people to build with Claude Code, then click on this video right here. And if this helped, subscribe. I post tutorials like this every single week. See you in the next one.